Welcome to part 5, and as I said in the previous video, journaling is the most important thing you can do. You learn so much. It's incredible. You have people I've met who have been traders for years, and once they started to journal, they just said to me, oh my God, I cannot believe how important it is and how much I've learned over the last month when I've started to journal every trade I do. So listen up and make sure you do this. I mean, you will need to do this if you want to be part of the 10. There are so many things in this course that you must do if you want to be part of the 10. And if you can't be bothered to do them, then you will probably not be in the 10. So let's start. So before we get into the headings, here are the rules. You journal every trade you even consider taking. It takes a moment to do, but when you look back at your journal afterwards, you will learn so much. Write down your thoughts. Write down how your emotions are as the trade progresses, whether or not you've done it. Keep a record of how much each trade would make. It doesn't matter if you took it or not. What you're going to do later is analyze your thoughts, analyze the trades, work out whether or not you're taking the right ones. You should also record if you were true to your strategy or if you bent the rules of your strategy, because those are bad things. And as long as you know you're doing it, you can correct it. But if you're not recording it, you will not be true to yourself. Did you move your stop loss, for example? Unless it's part of the strategy to move your stop loss, perhaps to break even, then you shouldn't be moving your stop loss. So when you do, note it down. If you don't note these things down, you won't notice the patterns. You record all your mistakes every time you make a misjudgment. You write down when you took a trade where you realise afterwards it didn't fulfil your rules and you shouldn't have taken it. Let's go through the column headers now. This is not an exhaustive list, you can add, but I would recommend that you use at least this lot and add more as you wish. So let's start day of week. Now, day of week is ridiculously important. Tuesday, Wednesdays and Thursdays, historically, people say are better days to trade. Now, only way to find out if they're better days to trade for you is to record the day of week you do each trade and then look at them later and see if there's a pattern. Some people notice one, some people don't, and it depends on you. The instrument, obviously, what you're trading, and I recommend you stick to 2 instruments, possibly even 1 at the beginning. If you spread yourself too thinly, you're asking for trouble. You can't work out the character of the instrument you're trading unless you have a lot of experience with it. So stick to 1 or 2. Obviously, buy or sell, price, stop loss, take profit, and you can work out R. If you're using Excel, you can write a little formula to work out what your R is. So now, next column, reason to take the trade. This needs to be fairly verbose. You write down why you're taking the trade. You write down the reasons. You write down various factors, whatever, for instance, stochastics or RSI, whatever you're following, make a note of it. The reason for this is so that you actually look at them. It's much the same with financial figures. So if you've got a column on your journal that says financial figures, question mark, it means you actually look it up and realise, oh my God, we've got numbers in it now. What the hell am I doing putting this trade on? I should wait till after the numbers. At least you know it's there. Also, the one above, reasons not to take the trade. After all, if there are reasons that you've decided not to take the trade, note them here. Okay, because don't forget, we're journaling trades we don't take as well. Any ideas that flash through our head, we journal them, and we found out later if they were good ideas or poor. Take a screenshot of the setup. In TradingView, you can do this by hitting Alt-S, and then you can paste the link you get into your Excel spreadsheet so you can look at it later. Obviously put the result down. You can put your max drawdown in sometimes because some strategies I've noticed I hardly get any drawdown because I'm literally pinging it by the pip. But this is a way to monitor that. And the story of the trade is what happens afterwards, subsequently after you've traded. Now, here's the last few headers. Did you take the trade? Yes, no, or it never triggered? If no, should you have? And if yes, were you right? Then you can look back ages later and work out what the patterns are. Right, so let's sum up the journal section now. Always journal first. I've not mentioned this before, but you should take every trade in a calm way. So every trade should be set up when you're not in a panic, you're not rushing. Everything has to be done in a measured fashion. If you really feel like you haven't got time to journal, then please don't take the trade. Always journal it first. This means you're calm, collected, you know your stop loss, you know your take profit, you know your R, You know if you've got figures coming up, you know if your stochastics or RSI or whatever it is you're using as a trigger is in the right place. You've managed to get your thoughts down on paper. That puts you in a really good state to put a trade on. If you're rushing to put it in and journaling it later, I really don't recommend that, because you're not in the right frame of mind and you haven't checked everything. Now after 30 days, 60 days or whatever, obviously you can analyse your journal, and if you make it in Excel it's easier to analyse because you can sort data and you can put all the Monday trades together and the Friday trades together and so forth and see if they're better or worse. You realise quite quickly how good you are at following your own rules. These are your rules. This is your strat. You know, if you fail to follow my rules, then you're just going to be part of the 90. So that's pretty simple. You've got to follow mine. You've got your own rules. How good were you at following them? It might even be really simple things like, are you better selling or buying? Compare your trades with how the whatever it is you're trading has gone. If it's been constantly going up for the last month, then obviously your buy trade should be better and your sell trade should be worse. But you may find this isn't the case. The only way to find all these things out is by reading and analysing your journal. That's pretty much it for journals, except to re-emphasise that if you don't do this, then welcome to the 90. I'll see you in the next episode.